What's up, my friends? I want to talk about daily content creation. Daily content creation is critical if you're going to be in any type of online business. You've got to create content on a daily basis. And I wish that I would have started this a whole lot sooner. I remember when I started my first podcast, it was all about the weekly podcast that I did. And I remember it being a big deal that I could crank out a weekly episode. It was an interview, so it was more entailing to get the interview done and edited and everything. And anyway, but daily content, that's intense, right? You gotta really be disciplined if you're gonna crank content out on a daily basis. But I think I've discovered that it's a way that is totally possible. And let me tell you, I've got 3 kids, I've got a wife, I've got a very full plate. I work a full-time job. I am an online business guy. I've got different streams of income. And then I do this every single day. I write emails to people. I send out broadcasts. I send out blog posts. I do videos. How do you do it on a daily basis? So I want to talk about 5 things for you to get in your mindset to achieve success and to stick with a daily content creation pipeline. So, number 1, you have to have a day-at-a-time mindset. Okay, number 1, you have to have a day-at-a-time mindset. If you just take it one day at a time, you'd be surprised at what you can do. One day at a time. Now, at the same time, number 2, this is number 2, you need to plan ahead. You got to have an editorial calendar of some kind. You obviously have to have, a plan. And maybe think through a rough draft of what your week could typically look like, and then start to just come up with headlines. Just headlines. You don't have to script out everything. You don't have to, do all the work up front. You can do the content each day, but if you come out with an editorial calendar, that'll help you too. That's number 2. So number 1 is one day at a time, because going back to that, I found that if I just have a goal, I'm gonna publish some piece of content today. It can be really simple, or it can be really complex that I've been planning for a while. I'm gonna take it one day at a time. I'm gonna plan ahead with an editorial calendar, number 2. Number 3, this is really important. Go for the low-hanging fruit when it comes to your content. Go for that which is easier than the hard stuff. I think sometimes we get all caught up way up in the tree we're going for the fruit that's way too high. We over commit ourselves to things that are just a little bit too much work. Everybody has low-hanging fruit, things that are naturally easier for them than other things. For me, as you can tell in a lot of these videos, I'm driving around in my car from one place to another. Usually it's my commute from my house to my office. I get my iPhone out right here and I hit record. It's very low-hanging fruit for me. I'm setting it up right here in my car, in a little spot that actually holds my phone okay, and I've got a mic that I upgraded. When I first started, I wasn't even using these mics, but I got the little Rode Smart Lav microphone, plugged it straight into my phone, and hit record on the video camera, started talking. So it's low-hanging fruit for me. I can do this not just once a day. I can do this on the way to work. I can do it on the way home. I'm on my way home right now. And low-hanging fruit, so for you that might be different. For you it might be you can sit down and just write some good content in a blog post, or maybe it's a podcast thing where you talk in an audio format only. For me, it's the video thing. Maybe it's pictures for you on Instagram, and you can write out a nice thought in your post for Instagram. I don't know. It might be low-hanging fruit for you. It might be my 4th point, and this is important. So let me go over them again. 1 is one day at a time. 2 is to have an editorial calendar. 3 is to go for the low-hanging fruit. 4 is, and this is super low-hanging fruit for everybody, and I think everybody can use this trick, and it works like gangbusters. When all else fails, curate. Curate. What does that mean? What do I mean by this? Okay, I do this on my own blog. I find I find other videos on YouTube that I think are really cool, and I take the embed code to those videos and I post them on my own blog. And then I write a few thoughts in the blog post, not much, and then I send out a broadcast email to my list, if it's one that I really like, and then I have content. And it wasn't even my content, so you're curating. I think about The Right Scoop. It's The Right Scoop is a political blog, and they're constantly curating, and all they're doing is adding their commentary. That's news, pretty much news right there, right? That's news media for you. But curate, when all else fails, curate. You can take any video from YouTube and embed it on your site. You can quote other blog posts and link to those, to give them the credit, and then just add some thoughts. Snip.ly is an amazing tool for content curation. In a way, you basically just take the content of someone else, and then you snip that URL, and you can put a call to action at the bottom of that post. I do this a lot with my sales funnels and in my email marketing. I'll take content that someone else created, and I'll put a little button at the bottom of it. Only those who you give that link to can see that, though. Some people are like, how do you do that? It's not that hard. It's called snip.ly. Anyway, that's number 4. Right? When all else fails, curate. And last but not least, number 5. Number 5. You ready? Just ship it. Don't perfect it. If you wait for perfection, it'll never happen. Done is better than perfect. Another quote, done is better than perfect because perfect is never done. All right? Just get content out. There's so much content out there right now. So much content. A lot of bad content. And listen, your content's not going to be that great. I hate to break it to you. My content isn't the most amazing content in the world. I want to improve it. I want to make it better. But the whole point of doing daily content is to make fresh connections with real people. Okay? Fresh connections with real people. And that's it. Fresh connections with real people. Because that's the whole point, is you're making content that's helpful. You want to help somebody. You want to educate. You want to inspire. You want to give them a tip or a trick, a little unknown secret that not many people know that you can share. Whatever it is, it just needs to be shared. And so done is better than perfect. Perfect is never done. I'm a recovering perfectionist. I get that if you're a perfectionist like I was, but it's better to get it done. It's better to ship it, because the more you ship, the more you publish, the more you release, the more you post, the more you're going to learn, the better you're going to get. The more you're going to learn, the better you're going to get. So one more time, all 5. Number 1, one day at a time. Just take it one day at a time. Do your best. Number 2, have some loose editorial calendar, if you will, and think that through ahead of time. Don't overthink it. Just get a little list, get some headlines, draw it out, write it out. Number 3, go for the low-hanging fruit. Remember, do what is best for you. What content medium are you going to gel with? And then number 4, curate. When all else fails, curate. Number 5, ship it. Just do it. Done is better than perfect, because perfect is never done. Adios, guys. Cash foo.